I want him to do it in the Premier League. I want him to be more of a goal threat, not just with goals, but mostly with assists as well, creating space, drawing fouls. Just your thoughts on the season in general. Who do you think is going to win? Who's going to be the top scorer? Who's going to go down? And who's one or two players? I know from you being a football manager, man, who's 2 or 3 players that you think we should watch out for? So you can start with any of those questions that I gave you all in one.
Cool. I think I don't want City to win it again. But I don't want Liverpool to win. But it's going to be one of them two. So because if City win, that's going to be 3 in a row, right? And that breaks Man United. Well, we've repeated twice.
Yeah.
So we're at the end of the world if they repeat once. But I still don't want City to repeat. So
definitely not Spurs winning the league, though, under Conte.
No, I don't see Spurs. I feel like Spurs will improve.
Definitely will improve.
Will improve, but I don't think they can. I have a lot of people coming to me saying that Spurs are gonna be up there with like Liverpool and City, but I don't think so. I feel like Liverpool and City guarantee you practically 85 plus points a season, right? Because
they're cut above the rest, I think.
Exactly. And although Spurs have improved and they're in the Champions League, they're not going to be going week in, week out battering teams like Liverpool and City just yet. I feel like they will beat teams and they will be up there and definitely in the top 4, but I don't think they'll be battering out teams. So even though I don't want this to happen, I'll just say City because I'd rather City win the league than Liverpool. My top 4 right now will be City. I feel like the guarantees are City, Liverpool. I want to say Spurs right now. And
Arsenal?
No, I don't think Arsenal are going to make top 4.
Ooh, no top 4 for Arsenal. Do tell.
Mikel Arteta has found his ceiling. And I feel like I've been saying this to a lot of my Arsenal friends where don't make the same mistake that Man United and Chelsea done in the sense that we tried to go with this ex-player that doesn't have any experience at all and then try to give him so much money because Arsenal has spent the most.
Yeah, they have.
Again, in a window.
And you're losing Lacazette and Aubameyang in the same kind of season as well. Aubameyang obviously in January, Lacazette in the summer. That's a big experience for both of them to just be replaced by Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah. Because I said they needed another experienced striker in that team to actually help them with at least 15, 20 goals in the season for them personally.
Exactly. And if, God forbid, if Gabriel Jesus gets injured, then do you know what I mean? It's not looking for Arsenal. I don't think they make top 4. And that's not down to the players. I think they've made some good signings. I feel like they've got their needs. But I still feel like they're a couple signings away. And also, I feel like Mikel Arteta, that's his ceiling. I don't think he's that good of a manager. I feel like he's getting a bit of a leeway because the Arsenal, the board trust him. And 2, that FA Cup he won in his first, coming in the season. I feel like that's kind of papered over the cracks. Because really, top 4.
That was one of those where you saw that. How do I tell my kids that Arsenal won this game, but Chelsea also won this game by getting rid of Frank Lampard as well the season afterwards as well? Crazy to see. And
they need to do. Listen, it was hard for us to get rid of Solskjaer, but we've done it in the end. It was hard for Chelsea to get rid of Lampard, but they've done it in the end. And now we're both trying to progress with really good, proven European managers because Arteta's not going to challenge Klopp. He can't chat to Klopp. He can't chat to Pep. I don't even think Wise he can chat to Tuchel or Ten Hag. Obviously, Ten Hag hasn't done anything in the Premier League just yet, but given their careers, I don't think he can chat to them. So I really feel like Arteta's going to find his ceiling. And the issue with Arsenal is that once they find his ceiling and they eventually get rid, because we all know Arteta's the man for the man. He's not the man, right? Once they do that, a new manager is going to come in and they're going to have to do another rebuild now again. So it's because we had to do it. Man United are going for a rebuild when we just went through one with Solskjaer. Chelsea are going for another rebuild now when they just went through one with Lampard not long ago. But it's that's what happens when we decided to get these unexperienced managers, give them money and see what happens just to make the fans feel good, and then realize that's not the way to do it. So let's get a proven manager in Europe and give him his time. But he wants to get his own players. He wants to do his things his way. I don't think Arteta's the man for a job. It's going to be really interesting watching that documentary.
I'm looking forward to that as well. My parents are Arsenal fans, so when that happens, I'll go around to their house and watch it together. It'll be good fun to watch it together.
I'm so looking forward to it, to see the ins and outs of Arsenal. But back to the topic. Who
next one was top 4, so we've said that, and then so you say City, Liverpool, Spurs, and then who's going to be your 4th?
If Man United make 3-4 signings, at Man United, just to be optimistic, just be a fan.
we got to be optimistic. If we're not optimistic about a season where we haven't even started a game, we're not exactly great fans at that point in time as well. So even if we're looking back at this in May, we finished sixth, we're like, we gave it our best at the time in August.
Exactly.
It's all
good. And that's the whole point of being a fan. But yeah, who else?
Top scorer. Who's going to be a top scorer? I've gone for Harry Kane. I don't think Haaland and Nunes will outscore Harry Kane this season.
I think Haaland will score goals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Nunes. I've got a bet with someone at work that Nunes won't score more than 20 Premier League goals.
I think he will score 20 goals, but not Premier League goals. It'll be like League Cup. Yeah, it'll be one of those where he'll be playing these other games. Absolutely, because I'm looking forward to seeing how Haaland does in the Premier League. I'm looking forward to seeing how Nunes does in the Premier League. But I made an unpopular opinion this week, and I think a few people agreed with me. I think it's quite annoying how Pep Guardiola got rid of Gabriel Jesus, Sterling in the same window as well, because you're lacking a lot of pace and you're lacking a lot of spatial creating space basically that Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus did as well. And I was kind of there like, Mahrez is probably the only player in that Man City team that does that now. Cole Palmer, Foden, Alvarez, they don't do it. They don't stretch the play. From what I've seen of them over the last couple of years. Alvarez, I've just only seen from like highlights and the one game and Argentina, to be fair. But I think that was a big mistake from Man City to let Raheem Sterling go in the same window, because I think he would have helped Haaland grow even better, because he worked really well with the likes of Jaden Sancho back at Borussia Dortmund as well. And that was a really good combination they had at Borussia Dortmund. So that's kind of why I'm like, Haaland will score goals, but I think it would have been so much better if Raheem Sterling stayed at Man City, personally.
No, bro, I agree 100%. I had this. I don't think right now City have a really good front three, regardless. But the pace and the pace and the space, you're right. Only Mahrez does that now, and even Aguero came out and said he was shocked that they got rid of Sterling. He said that getting rid of Sterling was a mistake. So yeah, I totally agree. I feel like Sterling would have helped Haaland's situation. But yeah, top goal scorer, I really feel like it will be Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Just because it's Mo Salah. I don't think Harry Kane's going to get that many goals. Like, no, I don't want to say he's not going to get that many goals, because he'll be up there. I feel like now Spurs have got more to their attacking thing. He's going to drop deep and do the assist thing that he likes to do with like Son, Kulusevski, Charlison as well.
That's true.
So I don't think he's going to be. I still think he's going to get his goals, and I still expect him to score at least 15.
He's gonna stat pad on penalties as well. I think it's going to be one of those when you got Richarlison going into the box, Son going in the box, Kulusevski going in the box. Penalty, yep, give it to Harry Kane. Guaranteed goal right there.
He's not going to be an assist by Harry Kane. It's even going to be a penalty for Harry Kane. So I definitely see he's going to be up there.
Yeah.
Players to watch out.
So we've got one to watch, and then best signing. So whichever way you want to go first. So who's your best signing of the summer?
Oh, this is a good one, actually.
So I've said along the lines about Sven Botman going to Newcastle. Thought that was a great signing.
Sven Botman.
Boubacar Kamara on the free to Aston Villa was a great sign for me personally. I thought he'd have been a great number 6 for Man United from January.
Should have done, even if he wasn't that number 6 that Ten Hag wanted. Squad depth, free transfer. That's the free transfer I would have gone for rather than Eriksen. No disrespect to Eriksen, I still feel like I'm going to enjoy it because I'm a fan. But if we're thinking of free transfers, I'd rather have gone for the young one that has a lot to prove. But anyway, enough about. I really feel like signing of the. Do you know who's going to be a good signing? Perisic.
Free transfer as well.
Free transfer, has played under Antonio Conte. He's going to make him into a wing back, because that's what Conte does, and it's just going to work. And Perisic, because he's a good player, right? I know.
And he did that at Inter Milan as well, playing as a left wing back as well.
Exactly. And we were linked with Perisic for how long under Mourinho and stuff like that. And Perisic is still a good player. So I really feel like he's going to be. I won't say signing in the season, but I feel like that's going to be a really good signing where you're gonna see that Spurs team and be like, oh, for the value of it, for a free transfer, that's a really good signing.
And if you're thinking about the attack in front three, like we said as well, Richarlison, Son, Kane, and you got Perisic one side and Jez Spence the other side as well, an attacking five like that with Bentancur in midfield and Hellberg, or even Basuma in that midfield, that is scary for anyone, because you've got a proper balance in that midfield and a proper balance in that attack, and what you're actually seeing from all angles. Basically, it's not just like one side is better than the other side, like it was last season for Spurs. You can just rely on Son and Kane, not really Lucas, until Kulusevski came in back in January as well, which is good to see. But no, that's a really good shout, Perisic. I'd like to see more of him. Again, we wanted him back in like 2018 under Mourinho, but it just never happened, unfortunately. He would have been a great winger to actually have watched for Man United as well. World Cup finalist as well for Croatia. Last one we've got is one to watch. So it can be a current player, it could be a new player, whoever you want to go for. Who's one player you want to watch out for this season, or you should let our listeners know to watch out for? Don't say Andres Pereira.
I was gonna say it. No, to be fair, I love AP only because, as you know, as a kid watching like MUTV, he was one of the academy ones that went around, and I have a theory that Mourinho ruined his career. I'm not gonna say Pereira. If I'm talking Man United, I'll say Alejandro Garnacho.
Ooh, that's a good shout.
But I don't know how many minutes he's gonna get. I feel like Ten Hag really likes him, and Ten Hag spoke about him after the game, and he looked really comfortable in that Rayo Vallecano game. For its 18-year-old, he looked very comfortable. So it depends what his development is like, because this guy's been called up for Argentina. He hasn't played yet, but he's been called up for Argentina. So clearly he's on the national team radar already at this young age, and Man United need to reflect that, right? So I'm not sure whether because I don't think he's played a lot of under 23s. I know he's played a bit last season, but I don't want to dash him into the first team straight away. But if he does, I feel like he's capable, footballing wise. I feel like he's capable of doing it. And we see we have that quote: if they're young enough, they're good enough, or if they're good enough, they're young enough, or whatever it is. I was like Garnacho, if he gets a lot of game time, I think he's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. From a Man United point of view as well, one to watch. I want to go for Jaden Sancho because I've been a fan of him since he went out to Borussia Dortmund and became a trailblazer for British players going abroad and plying their trade, really, which would have been really good to see. I think Aaron Hickey had been one of the later ones going out to Bologna last season. That was really good to see from Scotland as well. But Jaden Sancho, I want him to do it in the Premier League. I want him to be more of a goal threat, not just with goals, but mostly with assists as well, creating space, drawing fouls. The Jaden Sancho that we know and that we love, that we saw at Borussia Dortmund, that Man United fans were like, yeah, we've got to get him. The 3 years we waited for him, and it was only probably on the Ragnick we saw glimpses of the real Jaden Sancho as well. So we did spend a good amount of money on him, but I do believe this is a season where it's going to be more make or break for Jaden Sancho than the other two, Martial and Rashford, because we have seen them turn up as well. And I remember a couple of years ago, I think we've seen this online as well, it's when Solskjaer was the manager. That was the front four that we did want under Solskjaer, the Fernandes behind the Sancho, Rashford and Martial to actually be our starting attack, really. And we finally got it 2 years later and under a different manager. But I want to see Jaden Sancho turn up in this Premier League. I want him to bring the heat in this Premier League season so far. And I really want him to be someone that defenses fear, not someone where they're like, oh yeah, we know he's not accustomed to the Premier League just yet. We know we can just push him out to the wing and he'll lose a ball like he did, unfortunately, a lot quite for us last season. But yeah, from a non-Man United point of view, someone who I'm really looking forward to watching, really more than anything, is I want to see more about Scamacca, the West Ham striker. I want to see if he's going to be starting for them. I want to see if he's going to be off the bench. I want to see if they're going to bring Antonio back to being a winger. But I like to see Scamacca a lot. I've been looking forward to seeing how he does, and hopefully he breaks that West Ham curse of them buying strikers all the time and not actually fulfilling their duty. They had to get a form of winger. He actually played a right back, Antonio, under Pellegrini, and then to become a striker. It's great to see. But that's my non-Man United player I want to watch.
I think I don't want to say a Liverpool player, but I feel like he might have a breakout season at Harvey.
Ooh, Harvey Elliott. I like the way that they've been playing him as well, like as a centre mid, like a right attacking mid, basically, as well. So doubling up with Mohamed Salah like they did last season when he was back on form, and I think they did that in the Community Shield as well. But what excites you the most about Harvey Elliott for yourself? As
you said, I feel like I love players that can run, that can dribble with the ball, and they can beat a man and find a part. And I feel like Harvey Elliott is really good. I feel like that Carvalho kid as well.
Yeah, he's got shades of Coutinho on him as well. Yeah. The way he just feints his body around. I can't do it with me, but he feints it so well.
In pre-season as well, and I was thinking for a 19-year-old, and he was doing it in the Championship as well. I feel like he's going to be. It's two decent youngsters that are Liverpool, so it looks like Liverpool's future is all right so far, which is annoying, but it is what it is, mate. And he just needs to step up, I guess. And
yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to seeing how we step up, because if we are going to step up this season, we're going to do it properly with Ten Hag as our manager as well.